So thank you, everybody, and for the opportunity to present Profila to you today. At the end of this presentation, we believe you'll see why Profila is you and yours. We fundamentally believe the internet is made for people and made out of data, but I'll leave that to the end where we can convince you of the value of Profila. Just introducing you to the core team, which I'll do briefly here, sorry. There's myself, Sean Jensen. I'm South African, but living in Switzerland for quite a while. Background in global telecommunications, in product, networks, design, delivery, and service ops. Managed to exit a small startup in the 90s. Michiel, co-founder in Belgium, is a data and IP lawyer, but also exited a Scooty startup quite a few years ago. And Luke, the third co-founder, is a digital marketing expert in bigger industry. The rest of the team that really complements our skill set is key technology and Web3 with Kuba. Ipek is an engineer, but also operations and product expert. Iana wraps up our marketing function. The rest of the team that are helping us in design and product management, Mitchell Leiser, and a couple of very smart individuals helping us to code away at the future. So if I jump back into the problem statement for Profila, which is a significant one, and we started the journey 5 years ago in solving for privacy. So the three areas we're focused on is digital privacy, data harvesting, and social conditioning. All of that being significantly accelerated by AI. So what do we do about it? That issue, though, creates a market opportunity because we all know privacy has become a major thing. Companies are getting fined every second day, and companies are really looking for a different way to communicate with their customers without tracking. But brands are also focusing on better quality data. So how do I get an evergreen source of data to be able to communicate and personalize services to my customers? And people want better stuff, okay, from companies. So that's where Profila comes in. We believe you have one superhuman power left, which is choice of what data you share with companies in exchange for value. And what we have built, and is ready to launch for trials, closed trials in September, is a Web3 personal data relationship and permission marketing platform. We name it that because it is a combination of the stack that you see on the left, a bit of CDP built in there, a preference center, basic CRM, and also an advertising channel like Instagram. But in the future, people can use it to share content with each other or with a brand in exchange for content back in value. So how it works is people will create their own Profila, they'll invite people to view their data or companies, and then they'll be able to set preferences as to how often do they want these companies to communicate with them and when. In this platform is a built-in rights management control layer. So you're always in control of your data with any company. And then the company can decide how they're going to please you with their content. In the future, you'll be able to share information back. So there's like a bit of a mashup of Instagram and Salesforce, we call it, but with zero surveillance and controlled by you. In the platform, we have a token, which is mainly a rewards mechanism to help people to build a valuable profile of themselves, which is a new behavior. There will be some other approaches to how we use that in the future. Our Web3 stack is very clearly defined. We've been well funded by the tech community. So digital identity for privacy of how do you share data peer-to-peer, making sure that Profila does not interfere with your decisions. A good ledger for every decision that you do make on sharing your data, and then also some of the latest technologies around how do you control your sharing with contracts. We are a research-based company. We've got two prime research projects that have been funded, one by Swiss government and one by ourselves. A key one there for us is zero knowledge advertising. So we've developed a protocol which we'll be implementing in 2024, which will only enhance our tech stack in making privacy better online and giving companies a better alternative to the third-party cookie. Some of our competition and where we see the future. We see the past is this older web where you tracked and you nudged and it's invasive and distracted. In the future, we want a private, more mindful and exclusive experience that you control online. So we often get compared to Brave, but we'll tell you later why we're different. And also some data marketplace platforms. But again, we've got some very key differentiators in our focus. Our go-to-market is B2B2C, so companies invite their customers onto Profila, and we're only interested in the interest phase of a life cycle. So we're not an awareness marketing platform. We help companies to change their customers' opinion of that brand by cultivating better interest and then the whole lifetime value behind that. Our revenue model is it's data subscriptions, which revenue gets passed through to the individual, and also similar to Brave, an attention metric. So you take a share on any content that you view, and Profila takes a transaction fee on that. In the future, we will look at e-commerce, which has already been asked for by some of the pre-trial brands that we've spoken to. Our traction to date has mainly been on research. We did 2 or 3 years of research projects and then got grant funding to experiment on Web3. And now we're actually closing out a seed round, which will help us get to our trials in September, October, towards the second half of this year, ready for production scale launch in January. I mentioned we're closing a seed round at the moment. So for us at Profila, that is the ultimate choice, is how do you in future unlock choice yourself in being able to control your data, control your experiences across the whole internet. And I'm looking forward to any questions.
Thank you so much for that, Sean. We'll move to the Q&A segment now.
Yeah, Sean, I got a question. What chain are you gonna build this, or are you building Profile on, and why? And also, do you have an estimation, maybe, I'm not looking for a real number, an estimation of how much a user can make per month or per year by using Profila?
Perfect. So our architecture is chain agnostic by design, but we've worked with Cardano and the community for about 4 years. Main reason is we love the research approach, and the community has funded us because they love what our project stands for. However, we have a firm intention, and we are looking at alternative chains at the moment if they're better at certain portions of technology. So that will be our roadmap for the future. But to date, we're pretty satisfied with what we've got on Cardano. Others like Polygon and 1 or 2 are really standing out when it comes to ZK digital identities. So that's an interesting one for us at the moment. As far as how much you make out of your data, we're very different to our competitors. There's a lot of people, great apps like Swash app and so on, that are telling you to harvest your online data and then sell it through a data aggregation layer as almost a basic income. We do not promote that, okay? Because at best, from research, you'll get a couple of dollars, maybe up to a couple of $100 or $1,000 for medical research for your data. We tell people to use the value of the data as a contractual relationship, and we open market our platform. So if a company says, I'll give you 1 cent or $1 for their data, and you're happy with that, then we're also happy with that. And that sets a market price over time. Will the value of data increase over time? We 100% believe so, but we don't want people to think that this is a way to monetize data. Rather, monetize the value you get in exchange in the right data with the right company in exchange for value back. Hope that answers your question.
So they will have to come to me and offer me a price of the data I've been accumulating on Profila?
Correct.
One by one case?
Correct. At the beginning, yes. So the way the business model works is we believe companies should change their model first. So a company will invite you to the platform. You will create a zero-party data profile of yourself. So we don't include any third-party or surveillance or observed data in the platform. You create a profile. They subscribe to that, and if you accept and consent, then they can communicate with you and market to you. And just one clarification, it's not just for marketing. We've done trials in clinical trials. How do you share data? How do you share data with your doctor around a remedy itself? And then over time, you can vote for a brand to come onto the platform to say, come and have a look at my profiler, and then they can subscribe to you. And again, based on their offer for your data, if you accept, then you get into that sharing relationship afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Interesting. I was just curious, when it comes to like I've got like yeah, 3 questions. When it comes to like fundraising, like how are you guys going, like how's the raise going so far? What are you guys looking for like at the moment, and how are you going to spend that money? If you can just like quickly, we don't have much time, just share a bit. And when it comes to like go to market in terms of partners that you're looking to kind of, you know, partner with, what kind of brands are you looking for? And yeah, if you need a connection with Polygon, I also have that as well. Just
awesome. Thank you. So yeah, it's obviously a bear market at the moment, but most of our investors have been angel funders at this stage. We don't have any lead VCs yet, but for this seed round, we are looking for a lead VC as we get ready to production. So that's a good thing for us. And we're raising 1.2 to 2.5 million for an 18 to 24 month runway, which will take us through to a revenue model and a flat revenue. So neutral on cost. And then the second was around the partnership. So we're looking at sell with and sell through with agencies. We've got a relationship with Publicis in Bulgaria at the moment, and we're working with how do they take this proposition to brands as an agency. And we've also got an NDA signed with for quite a long time for our Web3 projects with the likes of Omnicom, looking at how will Web3 impact the whole marketing ecosystem in the future. Our target brands at this stage are CMOs at top level. So in the past 3 years, we've communicated with brands like Rolex, Coty, and a few verbally trials like Jabra and Radisson Hotels. Not saying that we don't have an SME focus. Our trials were on local SMEs in Switzerland, and the value prop is exactly the same. Just on pricing model, so you know there's no barrier to entry. We have a very low cost model, so they can invite one person and communicate with one person or 1 million. So there's no SaaS lock-in fees or whatever. It's more a land and expand strategy. And yeah, second half of the year focus is definitely to implement our Web3 strategy. We received good grants, about $500,000 just to experiment on that from the Cardano community. And then we'll implement and be ready for production after trials in January.